Adaeze had never been good at listening to warnings. That is perhaps why the gods chose her. Or perhaps, as you will hear, she was the one who chose herself. Listen now and do not blow out your candle. Adaeze was a trader's daughter from the lowlands, traveling alone to reach her aunt in the northern hills before the rainy season sealed the roads. She was strong, practical, and unafraid of long journeys. But on the first day, her bus broke down 12 kilometers from anywhere, and by the time she gathered her bag and began walking, the sun was already sinking behind the trees like a coin dropped into deep water. She smelled the village before she saw it. Wood smoke, roasting yam, thick green scent of forest pressed close against human life. The village of Uforo sat in a valley ringed by ancient Iroko trees, their roots like the fingers of old men gripping the earth. Firelight danced between the compounds. Children stood at the edge of the path and stared at her without blinking. An elder met her at the entrance, a tall woman with white chalk lines drawn from her forehead to her chin, wearing a raffia skirt that rustled like whispering voices. She looked at Adaeze the way a farmer looks at rain, not with welcome, with calculation. "You have come after dark," the elder said softly. "The gods have already seen you." Adaeze laughed nervously and asked for a place to sleep. They gave her a mud hut at the edge of the compound, nearest to the forest. She told herself it was generosity. She was wrong. A girl appeared at her door at dawn with a bowl of pepper soup and a smile so wide and easy it could have convinced the sun to rise twice. Her name was Chisom. She was perhaps 19, with bright eyes and quick hands and a laugh that filled whatever room she entered. She said she had always wanted to meet someone from the lowlands. She asked questions. She told jokes. By midday, Adaeze felt she had known her for years. Chisom warned her about many things: the old men who sat too close, the wells that smelled like iron, the path that led north through the Iroko grove that no villager ever walked after sunset. "Do not ask about the drums," she whispered once, her voice dropping so low Adaeze had to lean in. "And do not ask why there are no other strangers here." Adaeze should have asked about the strangers. But friendship, even more friendship, has a way of filling your ears with warmth and your eyes with comfort until the warning signs look like shadows, present but harmless.
What she did not know was this: Chisom has been chosen by the elders since the age of 12 to be the greeter, the one who found lost travelers, warmed them with soup and laughter, and their trust, and then reported back to the council of Uforo exactly what kind of person had wandered into their valley, whether they were strong enough, whether they would be missed. On the second evening, Obina came. He appeared at the communal fire as if he had always been there, tall, carved from patience, with a voice like a river running over smooth stones. He told stories. He made the children laugh. He offered Adaeze roasted groundnuts from his own palm and looked at her with eyes that asked no questions and made no demands, just presence, pure, warm presence. He told her she was from the neighboring village, that he had come to trade and was also waiting out the road. He was charming in the way that beautiful lies are always charming, effortlessly, without trying. Adaeze felt her guard lower, like a drawbridge she had not meant to open. That night, she lay in her hut and thought about him. She did not hear the drums begin at midnight. She did not see Chisom slip out of her own compound and walk swiftly toward the elder's house. She did not see Obina standing at the forest edge, speaking quietly to a figure dressed entirely in black raffia, nodding once before disappearing back into the village. She was already chosen. She just did not know it yet. On the third morning, things changed. The children no longer came near her hut. The women who had nodded at her in passing now turned their faces away. The elder with the chalk marking stood at the far end of the compound and watched her with the patient stillness of someone waiting for fruit to fall. Adaeze went to find Chisom. Her hut was empty, swept clean, as if she had never slept there. She went to find Obina. A village boy told her without looking up that no such man lived in Uforo or any neighboring village. He had never existed. That was when she ran. She grabbed her bag and moved fast toward the north path, the one Chisom had warned her never to take. She thought if the village forbids it, the village does not control it. She was halfway through the Iroko Grove when she heard the first drum. Deep, rhythmic, deliberate, not celebration, announcement. They were announcing the beginning of the hunt. For 3 days and 3 nights, she was chased through cassava fields, through the shallow river at the valley's edge, through the thick undergrowth where the moonlight did not reach. She survived on river water and raw groundnut she found in an abandoned field. She slept in trees with her belt strapped around a branch so she would not fall. She heard voices in the forest that were not human. She saw torchlight moving in patterns through the trees, organized, patient, purposeful.
The gods of Uforo, she was beginning to understand, did not like to be kept waiting. On the 4th night, the sky broke open. She had doubled back, a desperate decision, slipping into the village while the hunters were still in the forest, believing she had run further. She reached her original mud hut and crawled inside, her clothes soaked, her feet torn from running barefoot after losing a sandal in the river mud. The rain came down so hard, it sounded like the roof was being beaten by 1,000 hands. She heard them coming, heavy feet, deliberately slow, knowing she had nowhere left to go. She pressed herself into the far corner, and her hand hit something, a hollow in the earth beneath the sleeping mat. Not natural, deliberately dug, as if someone before her had needed it too. She did not think. She peeled back the mat, lowered herself into the narrow dark tunnel beneath the floor, and pulled the mat back over the opening, just as the door of the hut swung wide. She lay in the earth, in the dark, in the smell of old clay and old fear, and listened to feet moving inches above her face. Thunder rolled through the valley in waves, lightning threw white lines through every crack. She pressed her mouth against her arm and did not make a sound, not even when a second set of feet entered, lighter this time. Familiar, Chisom's voice said. She was here, I can feel it. A pause, then, she cannot have gone far, and then they left. Adaeze did not move for 2 full hours, not until the drumming stopped, not until the rain thinned to silence, not until the last torch had passed and the village fell into that deep, heavy stillness that only exists just before dawn. The tunnel beneath the hut did not end at the wall. It curved. She felt it with her hands in the total dark, curving east, stretching longer than she expected, the earth pressing cold against her shoulders as she crawled. Someone had built this, deliberately, someone who knew what Uforo was and had prepared a way out from inside it. She crawled for what felt like a lifetime. Her knees bled. Her palms found roots, stones. Once, terrifyingly, the edge of something that felt like old cloth and bone. She did not stop. She kept going the way the dying keep breathing, because stopping is the only option worse than forward. The tunnel opened into a ditch at the edge of the forest, screened by elephant grass taller than a man. She pulled herself out into the wet morning air, grey and cool and smelling of clean rain, and lay on her back in the grass and looked up at a sky that had no drums in it, no torches, no watching eyes.
She ran east until the sun came up. She ran until the Iroko trees thinned. She ran until the path widened into a proper road, and a lorry loaded with yam sacks came rumbling from the south, and the driver looked at the mud-caked woman waving from the roadside and stopped without being asked twice. What the road taught her. Adaeze never spoke about Uforo to anyone who would not believe her. She knew the look, the polite smile, the eyes that said, "You were tired, you were dreaming, the forest plays tricks." But she knew what she had heard beneath that mud floor. She knew the sound of Chisom's footsteps, the girl who had held her hand, laughed with her, shared her soup, walking above her head while she pressed her face into the earth and prayed. She knew what Obina's eyes had really been saying beside that fire. Not "I see you," but "you have been seen." And she knew this, the knowledge that stayed with her like a scar that never fully fades, that the most dangerous traps in this world are not made of iron or rope. They are made of warmth, of soup on a cold morning, of a beautiful face at a firelit evening, of a voice that says, "Trust me," just long enough for the door to close behind you. The elders of the old land say, when a stranger arrives at dark and the village is too welcoming, sleep with one eye open, because some hospitality is not kindness. This has been the tale of the village that feeds the gods. Walk carefully, and if the road ever ends before you reach your destination, keep walking. Do not knock on that door. Do not smell that smoke. Do not eat that soup. Some villages are only meant to be passed through in the daylight, and some are not meant to be entered at all. If this hits something in you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, because we bring best stories every week. See you in the next story.